Good morning. This is your 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. Continuing with some mostly cloudy conditions out there this morning, we have picked up a a slight breeze out of the south, and seeing our temperatures climbing into the mid 50s. Overall, expecting a fairly quiet and seasonable weather day as we move through our working hours, and we'll see a chance of rain moving through as we go into the overnight time frame. If we take a look at the current surface analysis, we have this area of low pressure over the Great Lakes that's going to be tracking eastward. It's going to bring these boundaries through our local area. It's going to help influence that rain chance this evening, as well as a slight chance for some rain early tomorrow. And with that low pressure tracking to our north, behind those boundaries, we're going to continue to see breezy conditions as we move through the first half of the week with that tighter pressure gradient setting up over the local area. If we look at the upper level winds from this morning, sounding had some southwesterly winds closer to the surface, becoming more west to west northwesterly and eventually northwesterly as we go up through the column, seeing our peak wind of 67 knots at 25,000 feet, and the freezing level today was at 9,400 feet. Take a look at our current visible satellite. We can see that cloud deck still moving through over the area right around 10,000 feet, 10 to 11,000 feet. And that should stick around through at least the first half of the day today. We'll start to see some breaks in the clouds as we get into the later part of the afternoon. If we take a look at the short-term high-resolution model, see how we can expect things to play out as we move through the next 48 hours. Again, dry weather expected today, just some slightly breezy winds, but not expecting a wind advisory as we go into the evening. As mentioned, likely see a bit more in the way of sun as we get into the late afternoon, and then we'll see those clouds building back in as some shower activity starts to move into the region. It does look like a decent chance we'll see some rain showers moving through. As you can see, the HERB model here, a bit bullish with some of the activity pushing through, mainly as we get past the 22 or 23 local time frame, and with some of these heavier pockets of rain or these higher reflectivities, can't rule out a chance of seeing some lightning with this activity as it pushes through. As we get past the 2 to 3 a.m. time frame, which should see most of this activity coming to an end and moving off the coast, just some clouds sticking around. But as we go into the day on Tuesday, as you'll see, still a chance of seeing maybe a few showers lingering around during the first part of the day, possibly as late as the early afternoon on Tuesday before things really start to dry out and clear out of the area. And that's when we'll start to see a break in some of the clouds, as well as an increase in those winds becoming quite breezy late in the day on Tuesday. We'll keep a breeze through the evening into early Wednesday, and continue to see clouds on the decrease. And then Wednesday looks to be partly cloudy day to mostly cloudy at times, but the big story will be continued breezy conditions during the day on Wednesday. If we zoom out and look at the longer term forecast here, we'll see behind that you get this upper level trough that settles in over the area, tight pressure gradient over the region as well. It's keeping those breezy and cooler conditions as we move through the middle of the week. And as we go into the back end of the week, we will start to see those temperatures moderating slowly as we move through the day. On Thursday, as high pressure centers over the area, really nice day for Thursday with sunny conditions, light winds, and moderating temperatures. And we'll see nice conditions as we move into Friday as well, but we will start to see that high pressure moving off to the east and that tighter pressure gradient start to build back in, becoming slightly breezy through much of the day on Friday, with mild conditions as this system tracks off to the north once again. We'll stay breezy as we move through the weekend, and next chance of rain could be as we go late into the evening, Saturday and into early Sunday morning, as this boundary attempts to sink across the area. As you can see, models indicating some drying out with this boundary, so just a low end chance of precip at this time. If that trend continues to dry out, could see that rain chance diminish, but still some uncertainty as we get a bit further out in the forecast period here. So if we look at our 24-hour weather risk chart for today, again, as mentioned, green conditions as we move through our working hours today should see fairly quiet conditions with a slightly breezy wind out of the south to south-southwest, 8 to 13 knots, gusting up to 18 knots. We'll see high temperature climbing up to 66 degrees, and again, keeping that ceiling around 10 to 11,000 feet through much of the day until we get into the later afternoon. We'll start to see some partly cloudy conditions develop across the area. Then those clouds build back in. We pick up an orange risk for precip as we pass that 22 local time frame. And that continues again, as mentioned, until about 2 or 3 a.m. We do have a yellow risk for that lightning possibility as well. Looks to be about a 30% chance of that occurring. And then we'll see things drying out as we get into the start of the day on Tuesday. Our low temperature will be fairly mild for this time of year, with our low expected around 57 degrees early in the evening. Tides are running normal for our Tuesday. We'll start off mostly cloudy with that chance of continuing rain showers, so we keep a yellow risk for that. Very slight chance of a thunderstorm, not looking very likely. We'll see partly cloudy conditions late in the day as that boundary pushes through. We'll start off slightly breezy, and that breezy winds will start to move in behind that boundary. So we do have a red risk for those elevated winds, again, mainly later in the day, where it does look likely we'll see a wind advisory. Otherwise, we'll see a similar high around 66 degrees. We'll see dry conditions moving into Tuesday evening, partly cloudy overall, keeping a breeze through the evening, so yellow risk for winds that are above 25 knots, possibly maintaining a wind advisory through that period as those winds will stay elevated. We'll see cooler temperatures with a low of 45 degrees, and then continued breezy conditions as we move into Wednesday, likely seeing a wind advisory once again. Overall, partly cloudy, but could see some mostly cloudy periods at times, and expecting our high of 59 degrees. Extended forecast here. Thursday looks to be the nicest day in the period as far as some mild temperatures, or some fairly mild temperatures or seasonable temperatures with sunny conditions, high of 60 degrees. And we start to see mild temperatures back into the area as we go into the weekend. Partly cloudy and slightly breezy on Friday with a high in the mid-60s. Then we're up into the 70s as we move into Saturday with some increasing clouds later in the day and still breezy. And we look at about 20% chance of that precip at this time, Saturday evening and early Sunday. Again, could see that increase or decrease depending on how things progress with that boundary as we move closer to that event. And temperatures staying in the 60s as we move into Sunday. That's going to wrap up the 10 a.m. daily weather briefing. We'll be back again tomorrow at 8:15 and 10 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day.